Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Queendom. And today we're going to be talking about Queendom over everything. But first, if you don't mind, if you would please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Everything I'm going to be talking about today is in my opinion, and it is all for entertainment purposes, and it is all alleged. Please don't go out of your way to dislike anybody. We're going to invoke the fair use notice. This video uses copyrighted material strictly for purposes such as commentary, criticism, and education under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. This qualifies as fair use. There you go. All right. So today we're going to talk about staying on our little Queendom talk. And we're going to talk about Queendom over everything. What exactly does that mean? What is Queendom over everything? What does it mean? Queendom over everything is a declaration of priority, identity, and self-governance. Here's a clear breakdown of what the Queendom is. It refers to your inner kingdom, your mind, your body, your spirit, and your values. Boundaries and your purposes or your purpose. So every one of us has a purpose in life. We're not always operating in said purpose, but we all have a purpose. So we have to actually look inside of ourselves to find that inner kingdom, that queendom, which encompasses our mind, our body, our spirit, the values that we have inside of us, the boundaries, and our purpose. It centers self-worth, self-respect, and sovereignty. A queendom is not chaotic, meaning you are intentional about what you allow access to. Over everything, it means all distractions, temptations, opinions, trends, relationships, and validation. So that means your queendom takes precedence over everything. Um, what that means is it's choosing long-term peace over short-term approval. It signals that nothing, not drama, not social media, not romance, not egos, outranks your well-being. So your queendom is really just an overall you, what you mean to yourself, to your life. What is your purpose? What is your destiny? And it also means your peace. All of that combines in to create your queendom, which in another words, your well-being, your person, all of those encompasses the same thing. We're just interfacing it with the word queendom. Um, Together, the phrase means my purpose, my peace, and principles come before anything that tries to destabilize or diminishes me. So before anything that comes against me to whatever kinds of conflict coming from any direction, my peace, my purpose, and my principles are way more important than that. In practice, queendom over everything looks like walking away from spaces where you must shrink to belong, making decisions based on alignment, not emotions, not pressure, protecting your energy like it's sacred, because your energy really is sacred. So when we say that I'm protecting my energy, it is because my energy is so important to me, right? If I allow you to interrupt my peace, you're consuming some of my energy. And my energy is just enough for me. My body contains enough energy just for me, not for anyone else. um Choosing growth even when chaos feels familiar, that is part of the practice that we have for our queendom over everything, is when we choose to grow even when chaos just is, it just seems like what is always around. But I choose to keep growing outside of this chaotic uh lifestyle, or because chaos can sometimes feel familiar, but I choose to keep growing even in chaos. Leading your life with discernment instead of reaction. I use my discernment to lead me into the things that I should and should not be doing. At its core, it is not arrogance, It is not arrogant. It is self leadership. It is not isolation. It is discernment. Sometimes it may look like isolation, but my queendom is so important to me that I actually listen to myself and to my purposes and to my purpose and to the things that I have inside of me that says, hey, my discernment is telling me this is not a place I should be. So isolation may look like I'm at home, but actually I'm at peace, right? It is not selfish, it is sovereign. Here are 10 things that prove it's truly queendom over everything. It's not just words, but it's a lived behavior. When you walk away without explaining yourself, peace no longer requires anyone's permission or closure. It's okay to walk away without explaining yourself. That is one of the 10 things that you can put in play that proves that my peace and my queendom is over everything that the outside atmosphere and chaos brings to me. It is most important. Walking away without explaining yourself. You don't react immediately. You pause, you process, and you respond with intention, or you don't respond at all. That is a part of the 10 steps to prove that it is kingdom over everything. You choose solitude over chaotic company. Loneliness is lighter than losing yourself. It is okay to be alone, to sit in a room and read a book, because it's more important to choose that solitude and know all about yourself than to choose chaotic company. I'm sorry. Your boundaries stay firm even when you are misunderstood. I am going to stay right here on this solid rock. I don't care who misunderstands me. These are my boundaries, and I'm not going to waver them for anyone. Comforting others is no longer prioritized. Overprotecting yourself is. So my priorities are so important that I want to protect them, and me comforting you, if it causes my peace and it is outside of my boundaries, I'm just not gonna be able to do it. Saying no is okay. Um, that's part of the 10 reasons. You stop oversharing your plans and your pain. Not everyone deserves access to your inner chambers. Everyone does not deserve access to you, to what you have going on, to your life, to your children, to your family. Everyone doesn't deserve that. So stop oversharing your plans and your pain. Keep some of that bottled up for yourself. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all know I'm dealing with allergies and a cold. It's really crazy over here. You outgrow people without resentment. You bless and release instead of clinging. It is okay to move forward. You value rest as much as productivity. I value being able to sit on the couch again and read a book. I value quiet time without the TV being on, without the radio in the car on. I value that time because I'm able to think clearer, in life. See, the air is much brisk and brighter, and things just seem to fall in line after I allow myself to be able to rest some. Okay, burnout is not a badge of honor. We said that last week. It is not a badge of honor in your queendom. You invest in growth before appearance, healing, image, substance, validation. Those are the things that we should be investing in. Let me say that again: healing, image, substance, validation. So these are the things. Instead of worrying about my image, I am going to invest in healing. Instead of worried about validation, I'm going to invest in having some substance to bring forward to everyone. You no longer argue with disrespect. Silence becomes your crown, not submission. Oh, I love that one. You no longer argue with disrespect. Silence becomes your crown, not submission. I love that one. You choose alignment over urgency. If it disrupts your peace, it doesn't get priority at all. I choose to align myself with what is going on. And if it disrupts my peace, it does not take precedence in my life. Final proof that you have the 10 steps that prove that it is really queendom over everything. The final proof is your life becomes quieter, clearer, and more intentional, and you're not afraid of that anymore. Sometimes we can be afraid of the quietness, the clear, and things that are intentional. But when you realize that those things are what helps you build better character, helps you with better understanding and discernment, helps you build your life on your boundaries the way you want them, your life lived, everything becomes better. Everything becomes better. I didn't have a lot today, but I did want to share that in this. Hey, pretty Riri, thanks for joining the live. Good evening, Symmetry. Good evening. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. You guys, I just wanted to come here. I actually wanted to pre-record this, and I did not do it this morning like I had planned on, even though it was already sitting out. So when I got through today, I threw on my moo and I was like, let me just do a quick live with the Queendom over everything. Remember, this is the Queendom series. We're doing this once a week. And the queen of you is so important. It is important to me, and I hope it is important to you, and that we are able to grow together because it is queendom over everything. If no one told you today that they love you, you said, yes, I'm not arguing. Life is too short. Life is absolutely too short. Believe it. Life is too short to be arguing. You know, I was sitting there thinking today, I was listening to something on the radio, and I was thinking to myself, man, you know, you get to a certain age really, really fast, right? And I saw a girlfriend of mine had posted on Facebook, this last half of my life, because she and I are the same age. This last half of my life, I'm going to live it intentionally. And I thought, man, I hadn't thought about that, because we know that there are some things in life that are sure. The Undertaker is one of those things that is sure. So we have to make sure that we are building our queendom based on our own boundaries and our own rules, just for who we want to be, and that we're able to wear our crowns well, right? We want to wear our crowns well, with pride, with dignity, because I am living on my own rules. I'm not gonna let you get me off of my crown. I mean, off of my throne, because this is my throne room, and I am going to sit on my throne and rule my queendom. I am the one sitting here, and I get to decide what happens here and when it happens, and it's going to happen on my terms and my terms only. And that is part of ruling your queendom. Queendom over everything. That is the word for the day. Queendom over everything. Queens, go be good, be safe, enjoy your queendom. Again, don't let anybody knock you off of your throne or come in your throne room to take your crown. This is my crown. This is my throne room. You are not allowed in here. This is mine. So that's what we have to do in life. Anywho, if no one told you today they love you, I love you, and there ain't a thing you can do about it. I hope you guys have a great evening. I might be back a little bit later on. I did see some things I want to talk about. But it's gonna have to be later on after I do some nasal sprays, because all of a sudden I got stopped up. I've been fine today, but I get home and I'm just stopped up. Today's a real cloudy day around here. Looks like it's gonna storm in a few minutes. So and we just might do a little bit more chatting tonight on a different subject. So I will talk with you guys later. Bye bye.